For people just joining in, what we know right now is the Israeli military has confirmed that the 7 returning hostages have crossed the border, and this is while Donald Trump has now arrived at Ben Gurion Airport. He will be next meeting the Israeli hostages and then will also be giving a speech at the Knesset in Israel, and after that where he will be heading to Egypt for a summit. Trump having a small talk with his West Asia envoy Steve Witkoff and son-in-law Jared Kushner, as well as daughter Ivanka Trump. He has been received by Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu and Israeli President Isaac Herzog, along with their wives as well, receiving thanks. Now, this is while many Israelis have been awaiting the news of their Israeli hostages being released by Hamas. What we know is 7 of them have been released. We're waiting to know the news of the rest. And there we have Donald Trump receiving a red carpet welcome. Now, Donald Trump is not alone. He is also accompanied by several key administration figures as well. We know that traveling with him were including Secretary of State Marco Rubio, Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth, and CIA Chief John Ratcliffe. What we know is that Donald Trump will be meeting with the Israeli hostages as well.
We need to walk through here, okay? So we're going to have to clear a lane. We're going to have to clear a lane. Let's do that so the president can walk around, okay? Perfect. He's going to walk around this way. Correct. Yeah, you go around that way.
And here we have visuals from Tel Aviv's Hostage Square as well, where a crowd of people are there, jubilant of receiving news of the Israeli hostages being released. There it is.
Prime Minister has joined in, yeah? I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm told that, yes. Okay. Got my back to this. Okay.
Now, the last time that we know an American president had traveled to Israel 11 days after the October 7th terror attack, where passengers aboard Air Force One received pocket-sized note cards describing how to behave. Now, this is, of course, the last time it was then President Joe Biden. And now, almost exactly 2 years later, another president is making another last-minute trip to the country. Of course, this is after Donald Trump's 20-point peace plan has now started with the release of 7 Israeli hostages. All right, what we know as of now, just to and there we have all the leaders in the car. Now, what we know for people just joining us is that Hamas has, of course, begun the release of hostages from Gaza. The first 7 of the 20 surviving Israeli hostages have been released. In Tel Aviv, Mila, hundreds of people did gather on the hostages square, and they erupted in joy as the news broke of the first releases. Now, this is on October 7, 2023, that Hamas had seized 251 hostages during an unprecedented attack on Israel. All but 47 of the hostages were freed in earlier truces. Only 20 of these are expected to be alive. Hamas will also be releasing the remains of others. That is what we know. According to reports, Israel has also begun releasing around 2,000 detainees in exchange. Among the prisoners to be released, 250 are security detainees, including many convicted of killing Israelis. About 1,700 were detained by the Israeli army in Gaza during the war. Earlier, Israel did also release the name of 7 hostages who have been released. And according to the Israeli Foreign Ministry, they are Guy Gilboa Dalal, Eitan Moore, Matan Angrest, Alon Ohel, Zev Berman, and Omri Miran. Now, Israel Army has also said that the Red Cross convoy is on its way to pick up the second group of Gaza hostages. That is what we know. And now also we know is U.S. President Donald Trump, who has been watching the release of hostages and live streaming on his Air Force One, has finally landed in Ben Gurion Airport. We know that Trump will be ready to meet the hostages' families. He will also be giving a speech in the Knesset, after which he will be moving to Egypt for a summit. Now, he has arrived in Israel. Now, what we also know is that the IDF personnel and medical personnel are accompanying these 7 hostages, and they will be undergoing an initial medical assessment and will also be meeting with their families at the absorption point in the Gaza Strip. Now, IDF representatives are accompanying all the family members as well, who are waiting in the hospitals and also are being provided with regular updates. Now, the IDF is prepared to absorb additional abductees who will be transferred to the Red Cross later. Now, what we know latest is that Israeli army have said that now the Red Cross is on their way to pick up the second group of Gaza hostages. We know that 7 have been released, and now we are just getting news that Israeli army says that Red Cross is also on the way to pick up a second group of Gaza hostages. This is meanwhile hundreds have erupted in cheers and tears and have also been singing songs in Tel Aviv's hostages square, thanking Donald Trump for finally getting the hostages deal done. Now, many had come as the sun rose, carrying pictures of the hostages, waving Israeli flags, bearing a yellow ribbon, which has been a symbol of movement calling for hostages release. Earlier, even Israeli President Isaac Herzog on Monday had also welcomed the release of 7 hostages by Hamas and said that Israel is awaiting the release of all the remaining hostages. We have been receiving reactions from international leaders such as French President as well, who have said, and I'm quoting here, "I share in the joy of families and joy of the people of Israel following the recent transfer of 7 of the hostages into the hands of Red Cross." And there is the motorcade of Donald Trump leaving the Ben Gurion Airport. We know that President Trump will be meeting the hostages' families as well. and will also be greeting the freed hostages in person. Earlier, we also knew there was a joint statement from the IDF spokesperson and Shigbit spokesperson. They had said that they are currently on their way to the initial reception point in southern Israel, where they will reunite with their families. IDF is prepared to receive additional hostages who are expected to be transferred to the Red Cross later.